In today's video, I have a really fun one-sheet wonder project to share with you. Another video in my Chop It Up Inspired series. I'm going to be using this Stamperia paper pad. This is the 12 by 12 Provence collection, and it's got beautiful lavenders and purples. So I'm going to pull out one sheet from my paper pack and pop it into my scoreboard, and I'm going to start scoring at 3, 6, and 9 inches. And then I'm going to rotate it one turn and score again at 3, 6, and 9 inches. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to draw a little outline of my pattern paper all scored. With the pattern paper being so busy, it's easier to have a visual to follow. So I'm going to highlight 3 sections where we need to cut the paper. We're not cutting anything away. We're just going to cut in the divot of that score line. I'll show you where we're going to stop making the cuts. We're not going to cut all the way through the paper. We're going to stop at that very last score line. So first I'm going to crease the folds to make it easier for me to see those score lines while I'm cutting. Okay, so I'll take my scissors and I'll start on the left-hand side, starting from the bottom, cutting along that score line right down the center, and I'll cut up to the last score line at the top here and I'll stop. Okay, then I'm going to flip the paper over and come from the other side and cut down the center and cut all the way up until we meet that last score line and stop. And then flip the paper over again one more time and cut up this score line until we get to the last score line and stop. So when we're done, we kind of have this paper that looks like a letter M. So what I'm going to do is start folding each of these crease marks. So I'm going to take one piece and fold it up and score it with my bone folder, making sure everything is nice and straight. Take the second piece and fold it back. And then continue to accordion fold. I'll fold one way and then fold backwards. Fold one way and then fold backwards. And then once we reach the end, you'll see I'm going to fold over towards the next sort of row of paper. And I'll continue doing this. And I'm just taking my time to make sure that it's squared up and lined up nice and good, and creasing each of those folds. And I'll continue all the way through, folding this several times until it creates this stack of little squared up 3 by 3 inch pieces that are all connected together. So it turns out to be this cute little booklet, and we need to add a little bit of adhesive to turn it into an actual book. Otherwise, it's just going to open and fall apart. So you want to pick which side is going to be your front page. And then as we turn the pages, you'll notice that the back needs to be sealed here. So I'm going to grab a highlighter and I'm going to run through my whole book and just sort of highlight where I need to add my adhesive. It'll make sense later. So I'm just going to make that little highlight. I'm not going to add adhesive to the top because I'd like to leave that as a pocket. Okay, so I'll flip to the next page and then I'll see where I need to apply my adhesive to close this up. And again, I'm going to make another pocket in this page, and I'll highlight where I need to glue in order to make that happen. Moving to the next page, again, we're going to do the same thing. It opens up from the back, so I'm going to open that page back up and then highlight that area, leaving the top part open to be a pocket. So as we go through and highlight each section, it turns out that every other page will have a pocket at the top, and then every other page will have a pocket at the side. And I just take my time here, making sure that once I identify the areas where to glue, I'm going to kind of put my book back together and then move along to the next page. Once you're all done going through your booklet, the next step is going to be to adhere all of these pages together. The purpose of highlighting all of these is to make it easier when you're just gluing. You can just open it up, apply the adhesive on those highlighter areas, flip the page and glue, and flip the page and glue, and so on and so on. So every time we have a new section, we have identified where we're going to apply that adhesive without having to think. So we've got this cute little booklet glued together, just a thin line of adhesive, and we have a pocket in every single page. So it turns out to have 7 pages, plus a front cover and a back cover. The next thing I want to do is just grab a little circle punch, and I'm going to punch out little notches. So then I know sort of where the pockets are in each page. So on the top pockets, I'll punch out a little notch here. And then on the side pockets, I'll do the same thing. I'll run through the whole book and punch out all of those little notches. And then it'll just clearly identify my little pockets. All right. So there we go. That's all done. Everything's glued up together, looking good. We got our pockets identified. And if you want, you can use washi tape and cover this spine, decorate the cover, do all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to take a corner rounder and just run through this whole book and round the outside corners page by page. And that's all I'm going to do. So you could really take this to the next level. Put little tags in each pocket, little embellishments or stickers or stamps, and decorate the pages. You could journal on here if you want. You can just glue down some white papers and make little journals. There's so many fun things you can do with this cute little project. And all we had to do was cut and score one piece of 12 by 12 paper to get this beautiful, cute little booklet with 7 pages and 7 pockets. All right, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I have over 100+ Chop It Up inspired projects on my channel that will inspire you to get to chopping up some of your pattern paper. Coming up on screen is a playlist of my Chop It Up inspired projects. I hope that you'll check those out. Have yourself a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!